Good morning, children. The next content is Urey Miller's experiment in the picture diagrammatic view we are going to discuss. So, observe very carefully the picture. It's a small flask, it's a big flask. Now, what he done first, he took the water. In this water is there. This one he boiled with the Bunsen burner or spirit lamp. He used that one, he boiled the water. Then the water boiled, what will happen? The water vapor will be move in this direction, right? In this direction it will be move and it will be go here. So in this place, this particular long flask, this is a electrodes, tungsten electrodes, given the what? Electricity. So the spark discharged, and here what gases are there? These all are the gases. These are the spark and these are the gases: methane, ammonia, hydrogen, water. So this spark, this electric energy, the water vapor, and the mixture of gases all reacted. Chemical reactions happened. Then later it is cooled down by the water condenser. This is called condenser. Then cooled down into this particular one collected in this way. So aqueous medium containing now what formed? Organic compounds. These organic compounds only in this solution or in this liquid only. What I said, what kind of amino acids I said? Glycine, and what you called the alanine, glycine, alanine, okay, beta alanine. You observe or not? Beta alanine, aspartic acid, okay, this kind of amino acids identification observed in this particular area. So these are all the points you should have to remember. Same like that, another experiment, what they identified? Nucleotides and what you call nucleosides, okay, and purines and pyrimidines identified, okay, purines and pyrimidines, you know, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, uracil. So like this, these are all the things. Protein coat is there, nucleic acid is there. Then automatically it shows the life. Like that, by the organic substances, what formed? It seems life formed like that. The experiment given by who is that person? Parent Alden proposed that one. Later, with experimental evidence given by the who are the scientists? Urey and Miller. This is the Urey Miller's experiment. This is a small beaker, large beaker. These are all the things you should have to remember. What gases? What are the bits? Here, the gases: carbon, ammonia, hydrogen. Okay, 2 is to 1 is to 2 ratio. Remember, carbon, okay, ammonia, hydrogen, methane. So 2 is to 1 is to 2 ratio. The Urey and Miller took the gases in that experiment. Okay, children. So this is about Urey and Miller experiment. The next one, what you call the next concept is most important thing we are going to discuss about. The next concept is we are discussing is what we called the evidences for biological evolution. Next concept, evidences for biological evolution. Okay, what are the evidences? That one we are going to discuss. These are all very very important contents. First one, paleontology. Paleontology is the, what is that? Paleontology is a study of prehistoric life. Prehistoric life. Prehistoric life through how? Fossils. The study of prehistoric life through fossils. So the prehistoric life fossils is there. So fossils are described as, these are true witness. What we call true witness. Very very important. True witness of evolution. True witness for what we call evolution. Next one are, these are also true witness for evolution, or documents of documents of various documents of various geological, okay, documents of various geological strata. This point you should have to remember. Strata of evolution. Okay, fossils only most important thing. Okay, next, fossilization is the next one is fossilization. What I said, fossilization is the process by which plant and animals remains are preserved. Remains are, what is that? This point you should have to remember. Remains are preserved. Remains are preserved. Okay, in sedimentary rocks. Where they preserved in sedimentary rocks. Okay, children. Okay, fossils, you know very well, dead decomposition after, the remainings are there or not? They will be only called fossils. So the fossils only direct evidences are true witness for the evolution. Okay, so that only we are going to discuss. First, there are different categories. First one is actual remains. What is the first category? Actual remains. Okay, so the original hard parts, you know, bones, very very important, bones, teeth, or shells. These all bones, teeth, shells are preserved in earth atmosphere. Observe carefully. Okay, they are preserved in earth atmosphere. The most common method of fossilization. This is the most common method. Okay, but what is the next one you see? Okay, when marine animals, so marine animals died. Please observe very carefully. Marine animals died. Then what will happen? Marine animals die. Their hard parts, what will happen? The bones and shells. These all, what they will do? Covered with sediments. Covered with sediments. Very very important. Okay, covered with sediments and protected from further, what happened? Further what is called deterioration. Okay, deterioration. These are the terms you should have to remember. Okay, deterioration. They get preserved. So they preserved like that. They get preserved in the ocean. Preserved in the ocean. This is the one thing. The salinity. What is it? Which one is prevents the decay? The salinity is there. It prevents the decay. Salinity prevents the decaying of that fossils. Okay, decay. Next, later the sediments. What is the next one? The sediments become hot. The sediments become hard. Sediments become hard. Okay, sediments become hard. Remember this. These sediments become hard. That are definite layers. So layers will be, you know, stratas will be formed, layers, okay, covered with the different layers and strata. For example, here I am writing woolly, what you called woolly mammoth, woolly mammoth. This word is a very important name bit. Woolly mammoth, okay, mammoth, woolly mammoth, okay. They lived in 20,000 years ago, 22,000 years ago. Okay, 22,000 years ago is there. This woolly mammoth is that one. Were preserved in which one? Frozen coast. Frozen coast. Okay, frozen coast of Siberia. Frozen coast of Siberia. Siberia. Okay, frozen coast of Siberia. Several humans, beings, and animals living in the ancient city of. Now, this is the one thing example. Then humans. Humans also live in the which one, ancient city. What is the ancient city? Come on, what is the ancient city? That his name is city of Pompeii. Pompeii. Okay, here also they identified. Okay, were preserved intact by. These are all preserved by the help of very well volcanic ash, and okay, which gushed out from Mount, which very important, which gushed, okay, which gushed out from Mount, very important, these are all the terms, Mount Vesuvius, Mount Vesuvius. Okay, children, these all you should have to remember. So what we are discussing is, the first concept is evidences for biological evolution. First, in that concept, first we discussed about paleontology. What is paleontology? The study about the fossils, or the study about the prehistoric life, okay, through fossils is called paleontology. These fossils only true witness of evolution. Which one? Fossils. Dead body, after what will happen? Decomposition will take place. Decomposition after, what will happen? The bone, the shells, the teeth will be as it is, because their components are different. Okay, microorganisms cannot decompose those materials. That's why fossils are forming. So these are the fossils, true witness for evolution. So now we can study comparison, how the previous ancestor animals, right now ancestor animals, how they are. We can compare and we can study. Or another important point should have to remember. This is not only true witness of evolution and documents of various geological strata of evolution. So we want a complete documentation. Fossils are the documents of various geological, so many in the earth related, what you call layers. These all we can identify how before the once upon a time how earth will be there, how is what kind of strata is there right now, what is the geological strata, like that. If you want to get the geological strata evolution, we have to go for what? Fossils. So documents of fossils are documents of various geological strata of evolution. The next one, fossilization. What is the fossilization? Fossilization means making the fossils into perfect way. Fossilization is the process by which plants and animals remains are preserved. What you called? The plants and animals remains are preserved in sedimentary rocks, where they can preserve in the sedimentary rocks. They will be preserved in the sense that kind of process is called fossilization. So actual remains as it is, what are there after dead body, what is there remaining, in the sense they all will be considered as actual remains. The bones, the teeth, the shells, these all are common. Okay, these all are present in the earth atmosphere. So these all are called actual remains. Not only that, some marine animals die. Suppose those animals' bones and shells covered with sediments, protected from further deterioration. Sedimentation will be takes place. The next one, the preserved ocean. The preserved ocean, and these all materials, bones and shells, are preserved in the oceans, and the salinity is the salt concentration is there or not. That salt concentration will kill the microorganisms and prevents the further decomposition or decay. So they will be settled in the bottom without any decomposition or decay by the help of salinity. So bones or shells are covered with sediments, protected from further deterioration and preserved in the oceans. Salinity prevents the decay of those materials, sediments. Later, those sediments become hard and layers and forms the strata. Okay, they will become a strata. So then the scientist will take off these all the things and they will study. Next, for example, woolly mammoth. What you called woolly mammoth? In the 22,000 years ago, that organism is there. Woolly mammoth. That where that preserved right now they identified how without any disturbances that is there in the 20,000 years onwards the dead body where it is there in the frozen coast of Siberia where they identified woolly mammoth. It's a neat bit. What is a neat bit? Actual remains the woolly mammoth 22,000 years ago is that animal is there, that organism is there, that one identified nowadays how without getting disturbance that is still located that preserved in the sense that is in the frozen conditions, especially which area that preserved it seems in the frozen coast of Siberia. Next one, humans. The humans related ancestor humans, the ancient city, what do you call the ancient city of Pompeii, they preserved the all humans once upon ancestor human parts. How they preserved the human related parts in the sense because of volcanic ash which gushed out from Mount Vesuvius. So which gushed out to that ashes there, volcanic ashes protected the human related ancient humans. Okay, where in the city of Pompeii preserved. Okay, so how because of volcanic ash which gushed out from Mount Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius, this ash is protected, preserved the human related things in the ancient city of which one? Pompeii. So like this, the different concepts are there. These all are biological, what you called evidences for biological evolution. Next, one more is there. That is one petrification. The fossils, another one is what you called petrification. Petrification. Okay. Next one is petrification. What is petrification? We are going to discuss. Okay. When animals die, what will happen? When animals die. Okay. These animals, the original portion of their body, what will happen? The original portion of their body, what that will be? Okay, their body may be replaced by, okay, replaced by what kind of replaced molecules? Okay, replaced molecule for replaced molecules. Okay, the body may be replaced molecule for molecules by minerals, molecules by minerals. Okay, Next important thing is minerals and the original substance is being lost through the original substance, okay, being lost, okay, being lost. The next one, how being lost? By the help of, you know very well, through the disintegration it will be lost. Through the disintegration the material will be lost. This method of fossilization, this is only called, this method of fossilization is called, what do you call this method of fossilization? Is only called petrification. What do you call? Petrification. This point you should have to remember. So the principal minerals involved in this minerals, what kind of minerals is involved in this fossilization means, number one, iron, pyrites, okay, pyrites, silica, okay, silica, calcium. These are all the names you should have to remember. Calcium carbonate, and bicarbonate and bicarbonates, okay, these are all the minerals are there. Carbonates, okay, of calcium, bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, this is the one type of, that is only called, that kind of fossilization, petrification. Then natural molds and casts, natural molds and casts, natural molds and casts, these names you should have to remember. Even after disintegration, so disintegration happened, completely disintegration happened means decomposition, disintegration happened. The body of animals might leave indelible, what you called, indelible impression, okay, on the soft mud, this one you have to remember, on the soft mud, indelible impression on the soft mud. So later becomes, it is become hardened, okay, these points you should have to remember, into stones, hardened into stones, okay, hardens into stones. So these such impressions, those are only called, what you call, molds, those are only called molds. The cavities of these are this filled with cavities, these cavities are there or not, these cavities filled, very important, filled up, the cavities filled up by hard mineralized, filled up with the hard minerals, then fossilization will be takes place, okay, then fossilized, get fossilized, okay, these also things you have, those are called casts, those are called casts. Even fecal matter hardened, okay, hardened, what you called, fecal matters, hardened fecal matters also helpful for study of evolution of these animals. They are called, what do you call, they are called coprolites, okay, occurs as tiny pellets, these are also helpful for, what you called, understand the what is the use of these all, what diet of animal, those animals diet, and how the animals, what kind of animals those are, like that we can either herbivores or carnivores also we can study. So now observe very carefully from now onwards. The next fossilization process is called petrification, second one. Before that one, what we discussed, that is we discussed about the actual remains. What we discussed, actual remains we discussed. The second one is petrification. What is the petrification? I am giving clear picture about that one. Observe very carefully. When the animal die, the animal original portion of their body replaced by molecules. For what? For molecules by what kind of replaced by molecules? By molecules, by minerals, organic substances. Then organic substances being lost or disintegration happened, then what will happen? These minerals replaced or not? The minerals will be correctly exactly what is the what you call portion, the original portion of same like that these minerals will be present. That process called fossilization or petrification. So what minerals will be replaced with what minerals? The minerals are iron, pyrite, silica, calcium carbonate and bicarbonate of calcium magnesium. Suppose this is an animal diet. So this animal died. This animal died in the sense this is completely replaced by some minerals and it will be stay like this. So this is only replaced by molecules for molecules by minerals. So molecules by molecules by what? Minerals. So what kind of minerals? Iron, pyrites, silica, calcium carbonates and bicarbonates of what we call calcium and magnesium. So this one, original one, maybe original portion of the berry completely replaced with the molecules by minerals. Okay, original molecules are replaced by molecules of minerals. Okay, this one you have to remember what molecules: iron, pyrite, silicons. So original substance being lost by the disintegration, but the minerals will be there. Those minerals will be helpful to study of that particular animal. So that process, that fossilization is only called minerals replaced by minerals or minerals of molecules is called what do you call that process? Petrification. Natural molds. What are the next one? Natural molds are casts. For example, disintegration, natural molds and casts. Disintegration, okay, all dead bodies completely disintegrated, organic substance. So indelible impression, so dead body impression will be there or not? This is the most important word. That impression, exactly, dead body on the soft mud will become hardened into stones. So those are called that soft mud. If suppose any dead body impression is there in the soft mud, that impression hardened into stones, those are called molds. These molds cavities filled up with hard minerals then get fossilized, they will be called what you call casts. Molds, casts. The soft impression in the soft mud hardened and into stones, molds. These mold cavities filled up with hard minerals get fossilized, in the sense they will be called casts. So these casts and molds also helpful to study about the evolution. Then hardened fecal matters like fecal materials, those are called coprolites, occurs as a tiny pellets. These are also helpful for the what kind of animals, what kind of diet of the ancestor animals or dead animals, or herbivores or carnivores. That one also we can study by using this natural what you call coprolites. So what we discussed: petrification, actual remains, natural molds and casts. Mold means impression on the soft mud become hard, that is called mold. This mold cavity filled with hard minerals get fossilized, that is called casts. So these casts and molds and the fecal matter coprolites also helpful for the evolution point of view. So next class we are going to discuss about evidences from comparative anatomy. What kind of compare anatomy, what do you call organ systems, organs, what you called what kind of homologous structures, analogous structures, what are the variation between ancestor and present day animals. In the next class we will be discuss. Thank you children, thank you very much.